Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Full Spectrum Survival. It is Friday, I believe the 17th of January of the year 2020, and we are discussing your own personal preparedness and security. Now, a lot of people who are just seeing the world around them right now, just waking up to the fact that we live in a tinderbox of social and governmental control right now, and control mechanisms that are failing, from economic collapse to social disorder to civil unrest, political upheavals, really you name it, and any number of these things could send humanity off the edge. As people become aware of this, they suddenly realize that their own personal security is their own responsibility to control. I want to talk to you a little bit today about some recent discussions that Kelley and I had had in the last couple of days and what I think that you can do to get started. Now, personal security, personal preparedness, it is not an expensive game. It doesn't have to be an expensive endeavor. You can take what is just a couple of saved weeks, a couple of saved months, and you can buy yourself a tool for personal preparedness like I have here. This tool only costs $100 and change. This tool is going to protect you and your family from violence. It's going to allow you to feed them, to put food on the table. This tool is going to give you peace of mind at night, and it's going to give you the ability to be more sustainable. Only a couple of $100. Get some ammunition and you're able to further your sustainability, your independence there. Why did we go out and get a 20 gauge? Well, we have a 12 gauge. I'm not going to, of course, list how many and what types of weapons we have, but you've seen our 12 gauge here on the channel. And the 12 gauge can be a beater to a smaller frame. Kelley, of course, has a little bit of a smaller frame than I, a little bit less shoulder muscle, and so it's a beater when you're putting 30 to 50 rounds down range at target practice or just going out hunting. You get a bruised shoulder if you're not holding it just right, and even if you secure it perfectly, you're going to notice it the next day. We talked about it the other night, and Kelley said, you know what, I think I want a 20 gauge, something that's going to cut a couple of percentage off of the kickback that I receive on the 12 gauge. So we went out and found a great deal on a brand new one. Now you could go, I searched around and I didn't have any, but pawn shop local to me had just sold a 20 gauge for $75. You can bet if I inspected it and it looked good, I would have picked that up, purchased that, instead of purchasing this brand new, but I'm still happy with the price of this tool for security and sustainability. Of course, every member of your family, every member of your group, they need to be brought up to speed on safety measures. They need to always practice with eyes and ears. They need to always know that a tool is loaded even when it's not, should only be pointed downrange, or it's something that you intend to destroy at all times, no matter what. I suggest if you aren't an NRA rangeman, or if you don't have access to one, call up your local sheriff's department, your police department, your local shooting range, a gun store, anywhere, and get in contact with one. Say, hey, can I either join in one of your sessions or can I sit with you for an hour? We discuss tool safety. Because just like this cut on my finger, in which my oldest son got a new knife, a new belt knife, and it had gotten turned around from the last time I looked at it. I reached in for it, and he learned an important lesson about that tool safety, how putting something in a different position, and me as the user picking it up and not making sure that it was the right direction, even though I just turned my head, can cause an injury. Every person in your group needs to know that an injury with a tool on this magnitude is life-threatening. It's life-changing. It's changing for your spirit, your soul. And so you need to become aware of that. You need to practice very often. What if you aren't used to using a tool like this and all of a sudden you are forced with reloading it? Are you going to be fluid in your reloading? Are you going to have belt clips with ammunition so that you have access to additional ammunition? Do you have a shell extender on your tool if you're using a shotgun. Take all of these things into consideration now, because after the event takes place, after the Venezuela, the Syria, the Yemen, after the Iraq, after the Afghanistan, after the Pakistan, after the the Chinese culling of minorities and certain religions, after those events take place, it's too late. You're past the point in time when you can make those changes easily. You have to rely then on the access to what tools you have available to you, what items you can barter and trade for. And by all means, you're going to need to. But you have access to time right now to get in front of an NRA range officer, get in front of a police officer or a sheriff's deputy, get in front of a gun shop owner and say, hey, could you sit down with me, my wife, my cousin, my group member, whoever it might be, and let's talk safety. Let's talk measures. Let's talk local laws. I live in the state of Alabama, and it is a one-party state, and that means that I can record any conversation without alerting the other party to the fact that I am recording that. If you live in a state like that, I suggest you call your sheriff's department, police department, county clerk, court, whoever it might be. Ask them for the statutes and codes of your ability to defend yourself, whether you have a castle doctrine, whether you have to retreat first, what happens on public ground versus what happens on your property. Find out all of those laws, because there's going to be an interim. There will be a time before crisis event and collapse. And in that time, the rule of law is still going to pertain to you. And so I suggest that we each know our safety, we each know our local laws, jurisdictions, what you can and can't do, how to best protect yourself and your family. Maybe get in contact with a sheriff's deputy or a police department and say, I want to learn more about diffusal techniques, more about violence diffusal. And so if there's an altercation, how can you diffuse that? How can you bring it down? That's just as important as how to react to a violent altercation. Knowing what to do to bring it down can save your life, can save that soul or spirit altering event from taking place in which you have to defend yourself at the grave cost of somebody else. Each one of these things is going to give you and your family a better chance for survival in a long duration emergency. Here in the preparedness community, we have to look at the unknown events of tomorrow and say, what can I do to better prepare for that? Do I have, excuse me, I'm still getting over that bronchitis we talked about. Do I have food and water? Do I have filtration? Do I have night vision and communications? Do I have medicine? Do I have security? Do I have defensive tools? Fill each one of those gaps as you're able to, and don't jump to the highest tier. Don't say, well, Brad, I don't have night vision and I don't have $3,000. Should I get food, water, security, medicine, and security and tools like this? Or should I get that one thing? Of course, don't get that one thing. If these gaps are filled, go and get that tool, that overpowering tool, that $3,000 night vision unit that's going to give you a better chance at survival. It's going to allow you to see in the dark when others cannot. But be smart with it. Get your homestead, whether it's an apartment or a home or a shared living facility, whatever it might be, get it in order now. Grow some microgreens. Think about rain barrels. You say, well, I don't have access to rain barrels. Do you have access to brute 32-gallon containers, those garbage cans that you see at Walmart, Sam's Club, and Home Depot? Because those are food-grade plastic. Those are used in the industry to put chicken in, put fruit salad in. You can buy that and get it for your rain barrel. Use it. No matter what position you're in your life right now, please work towards becoming better prepared, because our future is more uncertain than it ever has been before. Guys, if you have suggestions, please put them in the comment box below. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit that bell alert, and leave a comment for us. We love to communicate with this community, and we love to see other people's suggestions for other members. Special thank you to each one of you for being here, for all of our Patreon members for making this entire channel even possible. And a special thank you to ReadyMadeResources.com. You can go there for night vision and communications gear. Thank you to USABerkeyFilters.com. We use our Berkey filter every day. It'll take out radiation, viruses, pesticides, cryptosporidium. If you use the code FSS10, you'll get 10% off of your entire order. And CoreEssentials.com, tactical belts for people who are interested in security. Thank you guys for being here with us. Please, from my entire family to yours, remain safe, vigilant, and keep watch.